Dash down my walls and set me free. When you touch my bubble, you touch my soul.
World Cocoa and Chocolate Day 2023 is happening and hosted by the Cocoa Research Centre at the University of the West Indies. From the 27th to the 28th of October, you're seeing this challenge on the screen. Can you create an innovative cocoa cuisine? Then this challenge is for you. Joining us in studio this morning is none other than Professor Pathmanathan Umaharan, the Honorary Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and Director of the UWI Cocoa Research Centre. Good morning, Professor, and welcome.
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers.
It's wonderful to have you with us on the show this morning for such an exciting conversation as well, I have to say.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the role of the World Cocoa and Chocolate Day Expo, which is taking place, and how it's really supporting the development of the cocoa sector.
Well, we have been doing this for about 11 years now. I think we had a hiatus for 3 years because of the COVID. But the overall approach is to really get our chocolatiers into market. So we are really, this whole exercise is to really expose our chocolatiers that we have groomed over the years and expose them to the public so they can start selling their chocolates locally. And we are also trying to get them into the export market so that they can take it abroad.
And that's something that's so important as well, because we always hear everybody speak about how wonderful our cocoa is, how wonderful our chocolate is, especially those abroad. But it's bridging that gap between having it here in TNT and then actually getting it out of the country and onto those shelves. Now, this is something that one would assume is going to attract investment into the cocoa sector in general, correct?
Yeah, the whole idea is to really attract investment. We are building business models, both for farms as well as value-added producers, to be able to attract impact investment locally from local entrepreneurs as well as foreign direct investment so that we can expand the cocoa industry further. We have a reputation for our cocoa, and then, but the opportunities we haven't really grasped.
Right.
And I think by bringing in investment locally and internationally, I think we could grow the sector, grow our chocolate sector as well, and get into the export market in a big way.
Absolutely,
and earn foreign
wonderful.
exchange, of course.
Yeah, definitely foreign exchange, something that many of us love. I mean, all of us love to hear. Let's be real about it. Now, you mentioned farmers in particular, and I know associated with this expo are going to be mini workshops for farmers and chocolatiers. Can you share with us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so we are implementing a project with FAO funded called the One Country, One Priority project. And under this project, we are doing very small mini workshops. On a variety of issues that the farmers are facing. And the whole idea is to get farmers informed about the new technologies that are out there to overcome some of the problems that they are facing, and also trying to help them in any questions they have. So it's going to be a very interactive sort of session. It's going to be very short. Many different topics are going to be dealt with over the 2 days.
Now, also, there are going to be a lot of activities over the 2 days as well. Now, before we get to this cuisine competition, which has piqued everybody's attention, let's speak about some of the other activities that are going to be taking place.
So we have, in addition to the workshops, we have a chocolate tour that we are doing because we have all the chocolatiers out there. So it's an opportunity for persons to come and experience the different kinds of chocolates, beverages, products that people are producing locally and beginning to market. So it's a real good exposure for them. We also have other activities like fun games and so on at this session. We have innovation contests and so on. So I think there's a variety for different kinds of stakeholders: farmers, chocolatiers, public at large, children from schools. So we are trying to make it a very interactive session where everybody gets something.
We're seeing this so far from what you've discussed, all these different pathways that lead to that ultimate destination of discovering what our cocoa and chocolate can do and how we can also maximize on the potential within the market here, but globally. Now, let's talk about this cuisine competition. Who can enter? What are the details? And when is it taking place?
Anybody can enter because it's open to the public, because over the years, we have been having this, and we have created small businesses coming out of this contest who have entered, judged, and won prizes. And through this, we are trying to create innovations locally, because we have the wonderful cocoa, but how do you convert these cocoa into products, innovative products, using local materials, other fruits, and so on, so that you can create a new product that you can take into the market.
Now, you also mentioned schools as well being a part of this. Is that with attendance, or are schools actually a part of the Expo in general?
It's attendance, so we have invited all the schools, and we have over 1,000 persons who have registered from the schools, because we are trying to encourage the youth, because I think they are the future.
Yes.
And we need to get them involved in a very early stage, showing them, the potential for growing their businesses if they want to start a business. Along the whole value chain, you have opportunities, and we want to get their eyes open very early. And that's one of the reasons why we are very interested in bringing the children in, particularly on the Friday this week. And on a Saturday, we will also have other public and other people coming in as well.
And is this an all-day event?
It's an all-day event. It starts in the morning at 10 o'clock and goes until 5:30 in the evening. So there's ample time on Friday and Saturday for persons to come and visit. It's free. Admission is free. It's at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation, which is very close to the Arthur Lockjack School of Business on the Uriah Butler Highway. It's very easy to get there. It's a beautiful venue. And we are really grateful for Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation to have partnered with us. And we also want to thank our sponsors. We have a gold sponsor, which is the National Flour Mills. We have a silver sponsor in the FAO, and a bronze sponsor in Expo TT, because exporting our chocolates is very, very important. And we are really partnering with them to take our chocolates to the international markets.
Beautiful. Now, Professor, one of the things that you mentioned is this is an initiative that's been going on now for about a decade or so, right? How would you say the growth has been over that duration with the investment of cocoa, the interest in cocoa in particular, and our exportation?
Okay, on the value-added end, I would say that we have had tremendous success. We have trained over 300 chocolatiers. We have 40 to 50 businesses, startup businesses, that have actually started producing chocolates and beginning to export. So in that sphere, I think we have done really well. But in the production end, we have been really struggling because there has been not much investment in the farms. So that is why I think we have a project now that to really concentrate on bringing investment into the farming sector so that we can modernize the farming and get entrepreneurs investing and growing this sector to what it should be, And if you look at, we were producing about 35,000 tons maybe a century ago, and we are now producing 500 tons,
Yeah.
So that speaks to what decline has occurred over the time. So only through investment, I think we can really grow it. And there's very early interests that we are seeing. So I think we are very optimistic that's going to happen.
We are optimistic and looking forward to seeing that growth. Now, also looking forward to learning a bit more about this. Trinidad and Tobago, the theme is triple helix. Professor Umaharan, where did this theme come from?
Yeah, so this is a developmental paradigm, right? That you cannot really influence development in a holistic way if you don't involve the universities that provide innovation, but with private sector to drive businesses and the government to provide the sort of enabling environment for businesses to grow. So I think our developmental approach we are using is to really bring these three critical elements together. And this year we are highlighting it as the triple helix, the intermingling of these three together so we can get this sector on a growth path.
Definitely. Now, for those who are interested in getting involved in the sector in particular, what advice would you have for them? Many times people are interested, but they are a bit concerned as to whether or not they have the necessary capital, whether they have the experience, the resources, and so much more. So any words of wisdom for them?
So the capital, so that's a very important question you're asking, because without capital and investment, there's nothing going to happen. So this is why we are trying to set up a fund, to support cocoa development so that entrepreneurs who want to get into cocoa production can draw money at a very low interest rate so that they can really develop their farms in a realistic way. So I think it's a process that we are trying to get going. And in the next year, you will hear a lot more about it.
Wonderful. And just to go back to the conversation about children in particular, and speaking about, of course, they are the future, they're the future of the world, the future of business, and so much more. What age would you recommend we start to get our children involved, particularly in looking at this sort of business?
I think we are trying to attract all groups of children because very young, you need to sensitize them about the reputation that Trinidad and Tobago has in terms of cocoa. I mean, we fetch the highest price in the world for cocoa that we export. So there's a great opportunity, and we need to get the small children understanding chocolates and so on, and understanding the flavors that our chocolates delivers compared to the normal chocolates you have. So and then in the middle-aged students, we want to really get them thinking about building businesses. And because this is an opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago to diversify the economy really based on a comparative advantage that we have. Because you cannot really build businesses if you don't have an advantage being small. But this is an opportunity for lots of people to get into the value chain. And so we want to get the youngsters get involved in this, and so we want to really get them involved into internships, working with in farms, working with chocolate producing businesses. And that's why we have this innovation competition. Any age group could enter. And it's your imagination. You can create products. And chocolates are not only chocolates anymore. You can use cocoa to produce nutraceutical products, cosmeceutical products. And so there's lots of opportunities out there. And we want people to be aware of it.
Wonderful. Well, definitely attending the Expo is going to be your step in the right direction towards investing in the cocoa and chocolate industry. Professor, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to having you back as you go into your 12th year of this. The World Cocoa and Chocolate Day is hosted by the Cocoa Research Center of the University of the West Indies. We look forward to seeing many more and learn a bit more about the cocoa industry in Trinidad and Tobago. Stay tuned. There's more coming up right here on the Now Morning Show after this quick break.
'Cause I have a weakness for sweetness.
Thank you.
Weakness for sweetness.